Welcome, Aries. This is your monthly focus for March 2016. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And before we get to the energy of the month, let me take a moment to thank you. Truly thank you for all the love, all the support you send my way each and every day. Thank you, truly. Now, let's get to you. Um, I think you come into the month wanting to know how to bring in the balance in your life, the focus in your life, the harmony, the joy, how it's all supposed to fit together, how to make that happen, how to accomplish that. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that you are carrying into the month is focusing on how to move forward, but move forward with a balance and to have a harmony in your life, to bring in joy and happiness and laughter. Absolutely. We start with the first card with our Two of Pentacles here. Now, this is a balance, but it's usually an imbalance. So right now, at the beginning of the month, you probably will feel very much an imbalance happening in your life. More than likely, with this card being your first card, it's about energy being displaced, your energy. So perhaps you're working too much or playing too much. Maybe your spirituality is lacking. Maybe you haven't been paying attention to your health. But it's major areas of concern in your life. And giving a lot of your energy, time, resources to one area of your life and not paying as close of attention as you should to the rest of your life in order to bring in that balance, in order to bring in the harmony that you want. Right next to it, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So it's very much about the plan, the slow and steady path forward, crossing your T's, dotting your I's. And I think you walk into the month with the plan. I think you've been thinking things through. I think you know where you want to go. Maybe you don't see the road yet to actually implement the plan. Maybe you're on the road and you're a little lost at what the next step should be, or maybe you want to rush through the energy. But I don't think you should rush through the energy this month. I think you should take it slow and steady. And that's going to bring in long-term results. We have right next to it the Strength card. So it's your inner strength. I think you want to race forward. I think you want to get things moving. I think you want things to start happening and happening yesterday kind of feeling. And so it's going to take an inner strength. It's going to take a patience. It's going to take a discipline to hold yourself back, to make sure everything's in place, to make sure that you've got all your ducks in a row before you go forward. These cards are all crossed over by the Hangman. So this month is about taking it back a step, thinking things through, understanding your intent, understanding what your action will bring to you, and if it's the right thing at the end of the day. I think you need to look at it through different sets of eyes, different scenarios, to work it out in several ways in your mind. The undercurrent for the month is the Queen of Cups. So it's having a love for ourselves, absolutely. And so this being the undercurrent, I could almost see you beating yourself up for no reason this month, although you will think you have a reason for it. Maybe things aren't coming together as quickly as you want. Maybe you feel that you're not using the energy correctly. So love yourself. That's so important this month. to know that you have the tools, the abilities, the capabilities of moving forward. That what you plan for in your life forward can happen. You have to have a patience with yourself, a patience with the people around you, a patience with the situations around you this month. You know, I really get this huge sense that you want to go forward. You want to go forward now. You want to go forward as of yesterday. And the universe seems to be pulling you back somewhat. Now, the overall energy is the Five of Cups. But once again, we're looking at the negative more than the positive. We're crying over spilt milk. So maybe there has been stops in the plans. Maybe you haven't been able to move forward the way you wanted to. Maybe you've encountered a roadblock. Maybe you've been pushed completely off the path, or at least you feel that way. So this is a time to be very, positive minded, very positive oriented on where you are going, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. Remember, we have this imbalance about us. And we may be maybe just pulling ourselves out of the mix a little bit to understand how to manage our time, our resources, our energies a little bit more efficiently so that we are not missing out on important parts of our life. That we're not putting all of our energy into one basket and trying to push through energy that is not allowing us to move forward yet. And we had it with our second card, the Knight of Pentacles. It's the slow and steady pace. It's the well thought out plan. I mean, he doesn't have a weapon. He's not looking over his shoulder. Trust me, once you start to go forward and you've planned everything out, you've waited until the right moment, and everything starts to come together. And I see that everything could come together. So it could be the end of this month that everything starts to come together. It could be April when everything starts to come together. In fact, the sun goes into Aries the end of this month. And that's really, after your birthday. After your birthday, that's when you want to start moving forward. Until then, you want to tie up loose ends. You want to make sure that you have a sound plan. That everybody who's supposed to be on board is on board. Because I see short term and probably mid-month, we have the Ace of Wands. And this is truly understanding the balance that can be in your life. What needs to be, what doesn't need to be. So the first couple of weeks of the month, what you want to do is you really want to concentrate on where the imbalance is in your life. What needs more energy? What needs more time? What needs more resources? Because when you move forward, well, you have the Ace of Pentacles. When we move forward, we start a new path of abundance. Now, it could be if you are looking for love, it could be that type of abundance. If you are looking for better health, it could be that type of abundance. If you are looking to start your own business, it could be that kind of abundance. And so on and so forth. So you really have to look at your priority list, where you are trying to push ahead, where you are trying to put the energy or bring in a harmony or a balance to a certain part of your life. That's where the abundance shows. But I think the first couple of weeks, we really need to, even though you want to move forward, and I really feel that you want to move forward, you have to love yourself enough to give yourself the time to make sure that everything is in the right place, everybody is in the right place, so that you can truly move forward, that there are no stumbling blocks once you start to move forward. And I think if you try to move forward too soon, you will hit those stumbling blocks and you will just get frustrated with yourself. And then we get to the Five of Cups energy, where we're crying over spilt milk. Well, we're trying to figure out what went wrong. Well, what went wrong is we tried to push through the energy before it was time to push through the energy. So remain positive. Know that it's going to happen. Know that the universe is giving you this little bit of a timeout to think it through, to make sure that you've got all your ducks in a row, to make sure that you have prepared for the unexpected. So that when you ride forward with that Pentacles nestled on your lap, there is no fear, there is no worry, there is no concern. You don't need to be armed. You don't need to be at your defensive. You don't need to be looking over your shoulder. Now, in saying that, I think when other people look into you and your life, what they see is somebody who is happy, full of celebration, joy. So you're very upbeat this month. Social circles, definitely. I mean, get out there and enjoy people, meet people. And people see you as outgoing this month. That good news comes your way. There's celebration here. So people see good news landing on your lap this month. Happiness, well, it could just be a birthday party, right? If you're born from the 20th to the 31st, for sure, of March. The last couple of weeks and going into April, okay, the Seven of Wands appears. So now you have this inner strength. Now you know exactly how you're going forward. Now you can make your statement. Now you can make your declaration. Now that inner strength turns out to be all-encompassing. It's your vibration. It's who you are. You know, we have the Page of Cups and the Moon together here. So I think that, and a lot of it has to do, I think, with the spiritual connection here. The more of a spiritual connection you can make this month, the more of a balance you have, more of an inner balance you have, the more of a security you have, that imbalance is no more. Because you go into next month with a balance, with a surety of yourself, with a connection to your angels, your spirit guides, God, the universe. Now, this could also mean a mentor comes into your life, or depending on where you are in your life path, maybe you are the mentor. Maybe you have decided to learn something new, embrace something new. And it's to give you the balance you need to go forward. So you're strengthened. You're strengthened by this month. Definitely. And it could have a lot to do with your spirituality. For love, I actually drew two cards for us. The Emperor and the Five of Wands. But the Emperor looks away from the Five of Wands. So where I was saying, you know, you're getting out there and you're partying and whatnot, you know, you almost have to detach yourself from that scene in order to pay attention to love. Making the right choices in love. So friends might be trying to set you up. If you're single, friends might be trying to set you up, inviting you to things, knowing that there's a certain somebody. Oh, you guys would just make a great couple. But with the Emperor doesn't really, you know, take advice from other people all that well. He listens, and then he weighs it out to what he thinks, and then he decides whether or not it's good for him, his kingdom, his path forward. So don't just listen to other people when it comes to relationship advice this month, okay? It's what's in your heart that matters. It's your gut feeling that matters. It's your instincts that matter. If you are in a relationship, once again, it's your instincts. Now, this could play out a couple of different ways, okay? You might be off with friends more than your partner. So you need to turn the attention back to them and at least allow them to know that they are valued, that they are wanted, that they are loved. So that could be where a little bit of the imbalances. There could be arguments springing from that. You're never home. You're always out with them. What about me? So make sure that you don't ever get to that point. Okay, make sure that they are loved, they are appreciated, they know they are appreciated, they know they are loved, they know that they are needed in your life. But a lot about love this month will depend on you, your inner feelings. And yes, there could be arguments and it could stem out from other people. Okay, so if there's children included, it may be fights that start or bickers or heavy discussions start because of the children. You know, or it could be a family matter. It could be work that's getting in the way. Wherever there is a group of people. And I think the most important thing is, one, paying attention to what your heart is really saying, your gut is really saying, and taking it from that stance. So, yes, relationships that go through this kind of energy this month will come out stronger, or they could dissipate. But it depends on you, your heart. Don't feel that you are being pushed into an ultimatum. At the end of the day, it's your decision on where the relationship is going, how it's going to evolve, how it's going to deepen. For work and career, money, we have the Three of Pentacles and Death. So I think you want more of a freedom or a liberation or doing what you want to do, most definitely. The key here is the hard work, not trying to take the shortcuts, going the long way. Okay? Showing people what you can do, but you're showing them. You're not telling them what you can do, you're showing them what you can do. You give everything your best effort. You put your heart and soul into things this month. If it drives your passion, if it drives your happiness. Because it's all about feeling the passion in the workplace or in your career or in your business. That's when the hard work becomes easy. So this could be where people are looking at you. If there's promotions or things like that to be happening, it won't happen probably this month. But it'll be based a lot on the work that you do this month, your output. Maybe it's your productivity. Maybe it's what you do. Maybe it's the product you make. Maybe it's your communication skills that drive it. But whatever you do is being watched now, and it's for future promotion. For spirituality, we have the Devil and the King of Pentacles. So the Devil is all about the phoenix rising out of the ashes. So you might have a very spiritual revelation this month. Okay, now with the King of Pentacles, okay, he's usually grounded in tradition, but his crown is a living vine. So it's new ideas that stem from tradition. So especially if you were raised in a certain way, religiously, I would think, or spiritually, or make it a combination of both, because we won't even go there. Because I think you have to make it your own. Maybe an event happens to you. Maybe you realize something. Maybe I think it's an event happening, or it's this aha moment. But especially if you are in a regular practice, that's your traditional foundation. But I think you have new ideas on what to bring into the picture or what to leave out of the picture to make it your own. And it's new ideas in spirituality, and it really does awaken you spiritually. It taps you in spiritually, and we saw that at the end of the month, right? With the Page of Cups. This is definitely you can speak to your spirit guides, your angels, God. You can get those messages so much clearer than you usually can. So you're strong, especially towards the end of the month. You're very strong in your spirituality. It's almost like there's going to be some kind of awakening or something in you. a new way of doing things, and a new addition to your spirituality. And it stems from traditional sources. So it could be that you already have a practice of some sort, but it doesn't quite fit your lifestyle, or it doesn't make you feel whole when you're doing it, or you really don't feel the connection when you're doing it, and you will. Okay, so excuse me, look into things, research things, understand it from your perspective, not other people's perspective. What moves you? What feels right for you? Okay, tap into your wisdom, tap into your heart. For health and well-being, beautiful cards, Eight of Wands and the Sun. So you should feel very much alive this month, healthy this month, strong this month. There's a vitality in you this month, absolutely. The Eight of Wands brings in opportunities to even grow that even more. So it could be in your spirituality. Um, if you are suffering from a diagnosis or an illness, then chances are you're going to come across information that can really help you. New treatment plans, new drugs, you know, get a hold of your practitioner, ask some validating questions. You know, it's about you feeling great. And so different things that you can change up in your treatment plan this month is really going to bring in a vitality, really going to bring in a strength long term, okay? Because the sun being here is long-term vitality and vibration. So you know, where you want to improve your health, this is a beautiful month to start a game plan. Maybe it's working out more, maybe it's exercising more, maybe it's eating different foods or better. Maybe it's being a little bit more cautious of your sleeping patterns. Maybe it's just getting out in nature. Maybe it is a treatment plan that you are on, or maybe it's just a routine that you do in order to feel that vitality all the time. That you strengthen it. There's like opportunities opening up to you this month. And this is a beautiful month to make some declarations to yourself, some commitments to yourself for long-term security. Let's, when it comes to your health, let's pick an angel card for you here. So I think the beginning of the month, I mean, start out slow. Don't try and race through the energy. By, you know, your birthday, especially if you want to start a business or something like that, I would definitely be holding off until after your birthday, unless you can't. I mean, there's situations where you have to move on things, but move as slowly as you can. Make sure all your ducks are in a row for whatever you want to step into. This would probably be a beautiful month to join groups, have fun, learn through other people, work hard. You know, in work, I don't think there's so much promotions and everything, but people are watching you. So give it your best effort. Don't take shortcuts. Um, don't rest on your laurels this month. And I think towards mid-month to the end of the month, it could be even going into April, but I think it happens before that for the majority of you. There is new opportunity. There is a new path that opens up to you. Things start to come together. So wherever your plans rest, know that the second half of the month, things will start to come together if you take it slow, if you take it cautious, if you have a patience for yourself, your dreams, your desires. The Knight of Michael. Time to move quickly, choose logic over emotion and sudden changes. Yeah, I think towards the end of the month, it's going to be time to move quickly. Enjoy this little bit of a rest at the first couple of weeks of the month, because after that, you know, you are in balance. You are feeling strong. We have the sun for the health and well-being. So there is a vitality about you. So sudden changes. So where you thought that you were stuck, you couldn't force your way through the energy, back it up, think it through, understand the plan in its entirety. And then when you do, oh my goodness, when you do, I got to sneeze. when you do, things are going to be moving quickly, and then you're going to be able to use your logic because you've thought through your plan, you've thought through what needs to be done, who needs to be in play, where people need to be situated in your life, what situations you need to put yourself into, and then you're going to start to see the sudden changes come around. Okay, so strong, committed, intellectual, and diligent. Yes, stay diligent to who you are. Don't get into the energy of crying over spilt milk. Stay positive regardless of the roadblock. If there's a roadblock, just back it up. Don't try and push through that energy until mid-month, and you should have an incredible month ahead of you. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.